This is DLK Productions presenting my brand new LEGO Star Wars MOC. This is a mining camp on a separatist world in their outer rim area. And this is not a very well known world, but now they're becoming very well known for their minerals. And this is more like a slave mining camp to everyone that mines here. I'm not sponsored, you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me, though. And let's get on with the video. So, right here, we have the supply route. Right here, this is where they drop off all the supplies to keep this facility going. And, as you can see, we have, trees. Swampy trees. This is kind of like a little bit of a swamp area, but it's not fully swamp. This is the only land left. There's this green piece, and then it goes all the way around, and it has more water in that. And so we have just a bunch of cargo, more cargo, and these are just like the cargo crates. Then we have two clones coming out of a cargo crate. We have a normal clone trooper and a recon trooper. Clone and custom weapons. Highly recommend them. They are great. And right here we have two guards and a bunch of slaves coming out of a container. And we kind of have like a little watchdog. So this mining camp is a slave mining camp. It doesn't use normal humans or people that they hire. They only hire the people that are like the prison guards. And right here we have the recon sniper. And he is planning on sniping these tower people. And so, yeah. Right here we have the separatist shuttle, where one of the separatist leaders is coming from, a newfound leader that kind of owns this planet and all the mining facilities. And a few buyers. And the buyer is the separatist person. Right here, we move on to this little bit of more swamp area. And then you have a few clones, recon troopers, more clones, Commander Gree. And I don't have General or Jedi Luminara in this MOC. I do have her, but just not in this MOC. Then I have the Republic shuttle. And yeah, so right around here, we have a water pump. We have a water pump on this, and it's just absorbing all the water to fuel the, not fuel, but cool down the water, the plant inside, because it gets overheated with all the lava. And then we have a filter, or kind of like a little refinery of it. Then right here, we have some waves in the water from the clear pieces, or it floating down. I highly recommend getting some of these floating pieces if you guys are interested in getting or starting up a YouTube channel on Legos. So yeah, that was the first part of it. Now we're moving on to the camp and the engineering and all that. So right here we have a train. As you guys can see, this is one of the trains that you can buy in a set, which I have done personally. I love this set. And as you guys can see right here, we have a few studs over here. I have a black light right here. Black light. I'm going to set that right there. And I'm going to show you guys a cool trick of what it does. So, you turn on the black light. You shine it on these little studs. And then you turn it off, and you get glow-in-the-dark pieces. And this is one of the coolest things I have seen in a very long time. I think it's one of the best ideas there is of just like, if you guys want to do like an underwater or in a big mine. I just did it for you guys to see, to show you guys what you guys are up to in that. And right here we just have the train, which is workable. You just press the power button right there, where my finger is. And the train can stop, which I just stopped. And then it can back up. Then you can And it just goes around and around and around. Which I think is pretty fascinating for me, at least, of how much hard work I've put into this. But right here we have the entrance to it. We have the warning signs right here and here. And we have the fancy decals of it in the implanted into the mountain. Then we have these doors, which are custom made, which I have made right here, and they're really sturdy, I think, because they can take a beating from the train, and they really align really well, I personally think. And I just have a few lasers up here so people can't get in there. And I bet you guys are like, what is this? Like, what are these? Well, right here we have a power generator. So all you do is press this down, this right here, then you turn this, and it has lights. And it's pretty much, you can see the lights turn on, and I was going to make it so if the train hit it, it would turn on, but then I'm like, maybe. And I just plan on not doing it. So onto the courtyard, we have the tool shed over here, or the tool armory, or whatever you want to call it. This is where they just get all the tools and that. And they have a turret for during the night, so they can't find them, or not get to them, and it rebel. Then we have a guard. We have a guard or person working there dropping off food to, like, their leader. He's pushing off a bunch of crates, and he's going to pick it up right back here. And then we have a guard up here, and then we just have a bunch of guards stationed around. And we have a few workers right there, and they're unloading the food for everyone else. And we have, like, this little cargo bin of where they can just, like, put in the minerals where they find from here, in there, and over here. And right here we have the gates. We have gates right here and gates over there. And we have a crane for unloading the train itself, which is how you get in and out of the base. And over here we have two more workers. They're going through a door. Very nice design. And then over here we have the leader's tent. Pretty much like, that's why it's the leader's tent. It's because it's cushioned. Then the rest is like these homemade houses that they've built for everyone. Then right here is a rock climbing. They were planning on rebelling really soon, and they were going to climb over, hijack the vehicles, and break on out of there. So really, that's what they were going to do. And now let's move on. So we have this little bit of a courtyard inside the courtyard, or the, like, where they keep all the prisoners. Right here we have two ships that go down into the deeper mine, right over there. And these right here carry these. They put them right there, and they carry them on down. And it can be really anything. It can be water, it can be oxygen, because it's pretty hard, or whatever they need to live. And so we have just two of these going around, and you have the two tanks, a few lights for nighttime, because people work during the night. They have night shifts and that. Then we have this machine right here where just mines. And yeah, over here we have a guy controlling that. We have guards, which have air tanks, which, because of it's so poisonous here, that they don't want the people that they hire dying. Then you just have a bunch of rocks, people working, Wookiee, taking off the minerals that they're going to use. And then you have just a leader of the guys. Then you move over here, you got two guys going into the deep part of it, and a guard just standing over just to make sure that they don't leave. And then you have a light right there just to make sure that everything's going okay and all that. And we have right here a little control area this right here is a bridge. So when people get off, they get off right here for the train. They walk on this, they get off here, and then this little bridge drops down so they can walk off to the entrance. Right there we have an assassin droid, a bunch of gates around so they won't fall off. We have this control guy or commander controlling all these panels of what he needs to do to keep the facility running. And we have this little cargo thing, which is to drop off supplies from the train to here, which is what it's supposed to do. And this one is to put cargo on the train. So onto the big base, we have the entrance. We have two fancy doors, and we have assassin droids. And as you guys can tell, this is more like a valley, because this is where all the mountain is and all that, and then more mountains, and then it gets more normal, like there's not mountains, and it was built into it. And we have a door that just opens up. And now we move on to over here. We have the inside of the door. We have two assassin droids. We have a mouse droid just cleaning up there. We have another commander just waiting, and he is pretty much the guy that contacts this commander to make sure that everything's good in that. Assassin droids, if anyone gets in, they're not supposed to. More assassin droids to protect people in here and to not let anyone in here. Then right here we have the few cargo, some cargo in that. And right here, we'll just move over to the control center. We have two sets of lasers right here. Two sets. We have the normal lasers and then the high-tech lasers. Then we just have a bunch of scientists in here, and we'll move that. We have this guy just checking the perimeter of the facility, not of the outside, because of that. Then right here, you just have the scientist checking the minerals of everything. Hoth base, computer, I just put in for fun. Then we have this hazmat dude just checking this hyperspace fuel, if it's refined or not, and that's like the little refinery. Then right here we have a safe, a very high-tech safe. Eye scanner, code, turn wheel, and all that. Then you move over here, you have another hazmat dude with refined and not refined fuel, which they use. And right here, this is probably the best part of this base, is the armory. This armory took 2 weeks itself of getting all the pieces right and all the mechanisms inside of it working. So right here we have the top of it. So just set that to the side. Inside is, this is all weapons in that. We have rifles over there, guns, blasters, more blasters, walkie-talkies. Then we move over here. We have knives, katanas, bazookas, handcuffs, metal detectors, whips, and all that. And this is like what the Separatists are, or whoever enforces this planet, because it's a natural government, but they're okay with slavery. They just have contraband too. And right here we have the door. As you guys saw, it was back here. It can move from here to here. And it's just really nice door. But I'm going to set this right here. As you guys can see, right there, we don't have anything. You guys are like wondering, you have to have the door open for this to work. You flip the switch in the back, and a secret room comes up. And it just moves whatever way it kind of wants. And you just fold that up the whole way. And it's a bunch of thermal detonators. There's more on the other side too. And it's just really cool of how this mechanic works, of how the tools at the bottom just flick on and off. And as you guys can see, this right here, this little gear is the one thing that turns it. I'll have that right there. and you just turn it and just lifts this. So yeah, that's the armory for you guys. And let's move on to the factory itself, kind of. Really, we have the lava fall of where they heat up all the lava. The nice design, and it flows out onward over there. And then we have a pump which keeps all of the lava flowing and not just keeping in one place and keeping it hot and all that. Then we have the newly fresh made gun. We have the two people right here that are planning on buying. We have the guy who owns the place, actually. Two guys that are buying, a interpreter droid, two assassin droids to make sure that everything goes well. New batch of guns, bunch of blasters and rifles, and then right here we have two bad or older versions of guns, and they're just going to come into this little place to be seen if they can be run or that and be used, or do they have to be smelted down and remade into a better gun. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Please subscribe and like this video. Hope you guys really do like this video. Join me next time at DLK Productions, and see you guys next time. Thanks.